Joining us now live in studio, Lieutenant General Reginald Centracchio. He's an Eyewitness News Analyst. He's a former Adjutant General of Rhode Island, and during that tenure, he was also Director of the Rhode Island Emergency Management Agency and the Rhode Island Homeland Security Advisor. General, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
You know all about protecting the home front, General. For Rhode Islanders, tell them what would be going on behind the scenes right now in the wake of such an attack.
Right now, there are two main things going on. First is sharing information through either our fusion cell, making sure that we have every bit of information that's available, and the FBI and other agencies are conducting their investigation and sharing what they can with all states to make sure that there's a little piece of the puzzle that might be available, and we should be aware that that could happen here. But the second thing, perhaps more importantly, is that I'm sure that at this particular juncture, they're looking at our own plan to be able to respond in the event that we have a similar scenario, and we're making sure that all of the communications are in place, the plan is up to date, and in the event that we should have to exercise that.
Now, as we heard in Craig Boswell's reporting, officials say the shooter called 911 around the time of the attack. He pledged allegiance to ISIS, apparently, and even referenced the Boston Marathon bombers. They were lone wolves. He could very well have been a lone wolf. Is there a meaningful difference, General, between that type of an attack and, for instance, the attacks that we've seen unfold in Europe?
With a lone wolf, you know, you don't have any pre-warning, obviously. It happens. And in the case of a planned attack, you might have some intelligence that's being shared through whatever source, providing it's credible and you can, in fact, act on it. In both cases, the consequences are the same. You deal with mass casualties, and I think Rhode Island certainly, unfortunately, has experience in this area. And in fact, I was talking to my former executive director, Al Scapitici, talking about how we handled the station fire several years ago. And the mass casualty aspects of it is extremely important to ensure that the families are aware what's going on, the media is aware, and that plan comes together. So we like to look at it as perhaps being in a place to be able to share that, and I'm looking at Orlando, and I see exactly what we did here in Rhode Island unfolding in Orlando.
Lieutenant General Reginald Centracchio, General, thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate it. We also caught up with Governor Gina Raimondo, and here's what she had to say about the events of this morning down in Florida.
An act of hatred, it's an act of terror, and of course my prayers go out to the families and to the victims, but we have to do more than prayers. It's a time to take action. It's a time to take greater action to make sure that America is safe, and it's also a time for us to fight even harder to make sure that our brothers and sisters in the LGBT community know that they're safe, and we're going to keep them safe.